After the battle, news of the incredible English victory spread rapidly across Europe, turning Henry V into a legendary figure and humiliating much of the French nobility, whose devastating losses weakened political and military leadership across France during the ongoing Hundred Years' War, while Agincourt also became remembered as one of the greatest triumphs of the English longbow, a weapon capable of destroying heavily armored knights when combined with disciplined formations and intelligent battlefield positioning. Historians later viewed the Battle of Agincourt as a symbol of changing medieval warfare because it demonstrated that traditional knightly cavalry charges were no longer unstoppable against organized infantry and ranged weapons, while the battle also highlighted the enormous importance of weather, terrain, morale, leadership, and preparation in determining victory or defeat. And for centuries afterward, Agincourt remained one of the most famous military victories in English history, inspiring books, plays, poems, and documentaries about courage against impossible odds. But beyond the battlefield, the deeper lesson of Agincourt is about adaptation and humility, because history repeatedly shows that strength alone does not guarantee victory when leaders underestimate conditions, ignore strategy, or allow pride to blind their judgment. While even a smaller, exhausted force can survive against overwhelming odds through unity, discipline, and intelligent planning.
At dawn on October 25th, 1415, cold rain continued falling across the muddy fields of Battle of Agincourt as the exhausted English army waited silently behind sharpened wooden stakes, while thousands of French knights prepared for massive cavalry assaults. And when the fighting finally began, English longbowmen unleashed devastating volleys of arrows that darkened the sky and slammed into advancing cavalry formations. While horses panicked, riders fell into thick mud, and confusion spread across the battlefield almost immediately after French knights pushed forward. As French knights pushed forward through the narrow, muddy corridor, their heavy armor became a deadly burden because soldiers slipped, collapsed, and struggled to move, while fresh troops behind them continued pushing forward, creating crushing chaos where many knights suffocated beneath the weight of armor, mud, and bodies. While English archers eventually abandoned their bows and joined brutal hand-to-hand combat using axes, knives, and hammers against exhausted enemies trapped in the mud. Meanwhile, Henry V personally moved among his soldiers during the fighting, encouraging the exhausted army, while waves of French attacks slowly collapsed under arrow fire, exhaustion, and terrain. And by the end of the battle, thousands of French nobles and knights lay dead across the muddy fields, while the much smaller English force achieved one of the most shocking victories in medieval military history, proving that discipline, terrain, weather, and tactical planning could defeat superior numbers and expensive armored cavalry. Part 3. The Legend of Agincourt and its lesson, no hook. After the battle, news of the incredible English victory spread rapidly across Europe, turning Henry V into a legendary figure and humiliating much of the French nobility, whose devastating losses weakened political and military leadership across France during the ongoing Hundred Years' War, while Agincourt also became remembered as one of the greatest triumphs of the English longbow, a weapon capable of destroying heavily armored knights.
What if one of the greatest armies in medieval Europe was not defeated by numbers, but by mud, rain, exhaustion, and a wall of arrows? And how could a starving army trapped deep inside enemy territory survive against thousands of heavily armored knights waiting to crush them? In 1415, during the long and brutal Hundred Years' War between England and France, the young English king Henry V launched an invasion into France, hoping to restore English claims to the French throne. But after capturing the city of Harfleur through a deadly siege, disease and exhaustion spread rapidly through his army, weakening thousands of soldiers as cold rain turned roads into rivers of mud, while the French nobility gathered an enormous force, filled with armored knights, cavalry, and elite warriors, determined to destroy the exhausted English before they could escape to Calais. As Henry marched north with hungry and sick troops, the French army moved ahead and blocked the narrow road near the village of Agincourt, forcing the English into a battlefield surrounded by forests where heavy rain had transformed the ground into deep, sticky mud. And despite being badly outnumbered, Henry placed his faith in disciplined longbowmen, defensive wooden stakes, and terrain that limited French mobility. While across the field, thousands of armored knights prepared for what many believed would be an easy victory, unaware that the battlefield itself was about to become their greatest enemy. And the first lesson from this story is timeless. Overconfidence can destroy even the strongest army when strategy and preparation are ignored.